Hi, and welcome back to Siah Sports. How you doing today? I want to talk about the Anaheim Ducks and the NHL draft. The 2023 NHL draft was about a week ago, and I think it's settled enough time for us to be able to talk about it. So we can take a look at these. Hopefully, we can just discuss whether or not we think the Anaheim Ducks did good in the draft. I want to talk a little bit about free agency as well, about the two guys that they've signed so far, but that is for later on. That's neither here nor there. Let's just jump into the draft. So the Anaheim Ducks held the second overall pick, and with that second pick, we took Leo Carlsson. Everyone was saying that we should have taken Adam Fantilli. Even I was saying that we were going to take Adam Fantilli. And then we take, not Adam Fantilli, we take Leo Carlsson. And that is a little concerning, honestly. So if the Ducks really wanted to take Leo Carlsson, what I would have done is I would have traded down in the draft, like beforehand. Because you can trade your picks beforehand. So once we knew that the Ducks were second and that the Blue Jackets were third, I would have traded with the Blue Jackets because Adam Fantilli was pretty unanimously going to go second to either the Ducks or the Blue Jackets. So, yeah, so trade that pick to the Blue Jackets and be able to get back the third pick and maybe even some other draft compensation in exchange for that. Be like, hey, we'll give you number 2, you give us number 3, and a future third round pick or something like that. That would have been fair, in my opinion, especially because Adam Fantilli is such like a strong guy. So that's what I would have done. But they didn't do that, so that's fine, I guess. Leo Carlsson is still a great player, like, don't get me wrong. I'm a little upset that we didn't pick Adam Fantilli, but Leo Carlsson is not a bad player. He has high hockey IQ. I have learned that in the weeks since the draft. Like, even Pat Verbeek has been saying that. He says, and quote, his size, creativity, strength, and skill was evident when we watched him play in Sweden against professionals. With our long-term plan to build a perennial contender, we believe he projects incredibly well for what we are building. We are thrilled to add him in our stable of elite prospects. So that's pretty much the plan. Leo Carlsson has the hockey IQ that Trevor Zegras has, which I have seen, and it's just, he's very smart when he's out there on the ice. So maybe we picked him as more of we can use him as like a playmaker for everybody else, which is good. I mean, I know Adam Fantilli is more of a scorer. We have Troy Terry, who's our main scorer. Trevor Zegras can be a scorer. Mason McTavish can be a scorer. Pretty much everyone else can score. And the only playmakers that we really have are Zegras and McTavish. So if you were to have a third playmaker at center to really get us going, I understand that that's a good pick. So not a bad move by the Ducks. Second round, 33rd overall, we picked this guy, Niko Majatovic. I don't know how that name is pronounced. Please correct me if I'm wrong with that. This is one of the first times ever where I have seen a prospect who was over a year younger than me, and that makes me feel old. I was born in the middle of 03. This dude was born damn near 2005. Holy shit. I feel old watching this guy. And he's not bad. He had 60 points in 68 regular season games. The thing that I kind of liked that I noticed is the penalty minutes. Now again, penalty minutes aren't a good thing, obviously, but they kind of give you an idea of what he plays like. He's physical, which I like. We need physicality. Trevor Zegras, Troy Terry, and Mason McTavish, not made out of paper, but they're not physical. They're not the guys who will get in there and get down and dirty. They're not going to be able to fight, which, if he's having 41 penalty minutes, at least some of that has to be physicality. I doubt it's just lack of skill. Because with Trevor Zegras, when he gets into fights and has those, or not gets into fights, when he gets in the penalty, it's most of the time just because he fucked up. So hopefully with this guy, once it gets to a certain amount of penalty minutes, it's like, okay, it's not fucking up. It's you're actually really going for it, which I do appreciate. He had a plus 43 rating in the WHL. I know the Western Hockey League is pretty okay in terms of skill. It's not the AHL or the OHL, but it's pretty decent. So plus 43 rating shows that at the very least he can play some defense, I think. Honestly, I don't really know too much about him. I haven't really looked too much into him, but not a bad pick in my opinion. We had 3 second-round picks this year. Our 59th overall pick was this dude, Carey Terrence. Again, I don't know too much about him, but he had 47 points in 67 games. Again, 22 penalty minutes, which I'm not saying that penalty minutes are good, but if you have enough, I say like over 20 in about 60 games, then okay, you're playing physical. You kind of know what you're doing. Or like over 30 in 60 games. So this might just be from him fucking up. I don't know. Unlike the other guy where it was like 44 minutes in 60 games. That's very obvious of like, oh, okay, you're physical. With Carey, it's more of, you might just be fucking up out there. He led all Otter skaters in goals. Okay, he played in the Ontario Hockey League, which I think is similar, if not a little bit more higher demand than the Western Hockey League. I think I honestly don't really know too much about the minor leagues of hockey, but he's been in with Team USA in the World Championships of this last year, so he has played in pretty solid competition before, at least against people his own age. So for the 59th pick, not a bad pick. Yeah, so let's... Here we go. 60th overall. Damian Clara. Or Clara. Or I'm not sure how you pronounce his name. Apparently, he is the first Italian-born player ever drafted. I don't know if it's ever drafted or ever drafted in the second round. So, the first Italian-born goaltender ever taken in the NHL draft. That is crazy, considering it is 2023. The NHL has been around for goddamn nearly 100 years at this point. How the hell have no Italian-born goaltenders ever even been considered in the draft before? That's crazy. Especially since the NHL draft has fucking 7 rounds. You know how many people are taken? Damn near like 200 people are taken. One of these guys has to be Italian. And a goaltender. Yeah, so like looking at this guy, 6'6", really stands out to me. This dog is huge, but he's also only 214 pounds. I don't know about you. I'm 6'2", like 240. So I'm not super muscular. I'm not super athletic. But you'd think that for someone who is super muscular and athletic, the fat taken away from me would be added to them in muscle. So I'm thinking, like, if you're fucking 4 inches taller than me, you should be heavier than me. So that's a little concerning. But he played in the Swedish Junior League. I'm not sure how competitive that league is, but considering it's called Junior League, okay. 17-70 record with a 2.79 goals against average and 903 save percentage. 17-17 is a little concerning, but also I guess that means his team probably just sucked. Considering 2.79 GAA isn't bad, and a 903 save percentage, it's okay in any league. So who knows? Yeah, look at. In 2021, he became the youngest goaltender to ever appear at the IIHF World Championships and the youngest player overall in more than 80 years. Damn! He is going to play in Sweden again next season. Second division. I don't know. I mean, I guess he can kind of work. Maybe. Who knows? The Ducks know better than I do about who they pick. I'm not going to say this is a bad pick. We do need more goaltenders just overall. But, hey, Lucas Dostal is still young, so this guy might show up eventually. And then 5 picks later, we picked center Colson Pitre with the 65th overall pick. I don't really like saying hockey names or soccer names because half of them I can't pronounce because they're in languages that are like fucking Swedish and German and shit like that that I just can't say. The Ducks have selected him. Let's see. He's younger than me too. He's younger than that last guy. What the fuck? He scored 60 points with a plus 20 rating in 59 games. Again, the 42 penalty minutes. He might be physical. 6'1", 170 pounds. God damn. How the fuck do I have this guy by like 60 pounds? He ranked 4th among team leaders in points and 3rd for goals while establishing a new career high in games played. He scored 5 points in 6 OHL playoff contests. Oh, okay, so he is from the OHL. He's from Flint. The Flint Firebirds of the OHL. Okay, that's not bad then. That's still pretty competitive. Oh yeah, I totally just skipped over this. 60 points in 59 games. It's pretty good. I think anyone who in the minors averages above a point per game is going to be pretty decent at the NHL level at the very least. What's crazy to me is, goddamn, 4th among team leaders in points? Jesus Christ. How stacked was this team? Because 60 points in 59 games, you'd think that would at least bottom be 2nd on your team. But he's 4th. So there's 3 guys just averaging more points per game than he is, which is just crazy to me. God damn. He was named to the 2021-22 OHL first all-rookie team. That's pretty not bad. His brother Caden was his teammate. That's kind of cool. Again, not a terrible pick. I'm not against this pick. Okay, good. Yegor Sidorov. This dude is fucking Russian. I can't pronounce his name. I think it's Yegor Sidorov, but I don't know. Yeah, he's not younger than the last guy, so that's, again, 40 goals, 36 assists, 76 points with a plus 25 rating, and 39 penalty minutes in 53 games. Damn! 76 points in 53 games. That's pretty good. He led all Blades in goals, ranked 2nd in points, and 1st in Damn! There was another dude on his team who just had more points than him in damn, that's pretty crazy. He had 19 points in 16 playoff contests. The playoffs of any league are where I see who the real players are. 19 points in 16 WHO playoff games. Good. I like that. Saskatoon Blades of the Western Hockey League. Again, I don't know anything about the Western Hockey League. I just know that it's somewhere between... it's underneath the AHL. I know it's like NHL is the big leagues, so then AHL is like AAA. I'm putting this in baseball terms. And then underneath that is the OHL and the WHL in that order. So who knows? He might show up for us next year in San Diego at the very least. Damn, he has 111 points in 111 career games. So he did take a huge leap this last year. So that's pretty good to see. He could take another huge leap again. I really like the penalty minutes. I don't like penalty minutes, but I like that he's playing physical. Everyone that we're taking is relatively good sized. Everyone is above 6 foot. Was Leo Carlson above 6 foot? I actually don't know. How tall is this dog? 6'2"? Yeah. Okay. So everyone so far has been pretty decently sized. That's good. That's good. So let's jump into round 4, 94th overall. Connor Smith, the first guy who might be American. I don't know. Connor with a K is weird. He's not younger than the other guy. So, career high 65 games with the Peterborough Petes of the OHL, posting 15 points and 12 rating and 68 penalty minutes. Damn, this dude's huge. 6'6" again. Career high in points. What the fuck? I guess I'm not a huge fan of that. The penalty minutes, again, if you're having this high penalty minutes, you're playing very physical, but you're also fucking up. If you have more penalty minutes than you have games played, you're fucking up and playing physical, which is bad. Because now you're just knocking people out. You're just knocking them down. 15 points in 65 games. Let's be real. That is pathetic. You need at least like 30 to be considered decent, I guess. Plus 12 rating is fine. I mean, at least he was a net positive. Again, we are in the 4th round, so anything past like round 3 is people I would never assume are even gonna ever make the league. I would be wrong sometimes. Like Troy Terry was selected in like the 5th round or something like that, and ended up making the league and being a superstar. So I mean, it could get better. Who knows? I might be eating my words. I know he's a defenseman. Damn, this was the first defenseman we've taken this entire time. And then just 3 straight defensemen. Okay, so for a defenseman, 15 points is like not good, but it's not terrible. This dude, round 5, Rodwin, I am Dionisio? Something like that. Let's see. He had 50 points in 50 games this season with the Niagara Ice Dogs and Windsor Spitfires of the OHL. Damn, he had 43 points in 33 games with the Spitfires specifically. Not terrible. Not terrible. It doesn't say how many penalty minutes he had this year, but assuming he had 121 in 107 career games, so I'm gonna assume that this dog just knocks people out a lot. He's a big defenseman. He can score pretty efficiently. He can pass pretty efficiently. It doesn't say his plus minus, but I'm gonna assume if you got traded at some point and had 43 points in 33 games, at least with the Spitfires, I'm gonna assume his net rating is positive. So yeah, I mean, good pickup at in the fifth round. I did not expect a good pickup in the 5th round, but okay. And finally, the first selection of the 6th round. What the fuck? Vojtek Port sounds like a location as opposed. Oh my god! This dog is born in 2005. He's not even an adult. That's crazy. Skated in 48 games with the Red Deer Rebels and Edmonton Oil Kings of the WHL this season. He had 17 points with 16 penalty minutes. 6'2", 168-pound defenseman also scored or posted 23 points with a plus 21 rating in 26 games with the U17 team. Okay, I mean, he is a 6th round pick, so I'm not really going to dog him too much for that. Not a bad move overall. It could have been a lot worse. The draft, overall, would I say it was good? I don't know. Like, our 1st round selection, obviously he's going to be pretty good. These 3 guys in the 2nd round, he might have been taken a little too high for being a 2nd round pick. But these 2, I could see them making an impact at the NHL level. Colson Pitre, he could be decent. I mean, he did some cool things, I guess. This dude and Connor Smith, I don't really see them making any kind of impact at the NHL level, like, majorly. And then this guy, Rodwin Dionisio, he is a dog. I would not be surprised if he ends up making the league and really going at it. And Vojtek Port, the location, I mean, he's okay, I guess. The Ducks acquired Colorado's 2023 2nd round pick. So that was Damian Clada. Boston's 23 2nd round pick is Case Carey. And Minnesota's 3rd round pick is this guy, Yegor Sidorov. So, they're all like right here. So we took 9 guys in the draft. You're good. Question mark. Decent. Question mark. I'm gonna put hope in this guy and big question mark. Again, I don't know. Would I get a grade for the draft? I don't think I'm qualified to give a grade for the draft, so that's why I'm letting this guy do it on the Athletic. So here we are on an article from the Athletic written by Scott Wheeler, winners and losers of the 2023 NHL Draft. If we go down, we will see overtime losers. Oops. And the Anaheim Ducks are on here for him. Now, I'm not 100% certain if I will agree with his take, but let's see what we do. I was partial to Fantilli at number 2, but it's close enough to me that I still like the Leo Carlson pick, and I certainly understand it at minimum. I'm sure they saw a gap in their sense of creativity and leaned Carlson on that basis, and there's a perfectly reasonable place to land. Again, okay, fair. So he's not calling us a loser yet. I think he's saying essentially what I was saying, of like, we could have just traded down in the draft if we really wanted him. Nico Mijatovic with the first pick of day 2 wasn't a surprise, even if I had him ranked as more of a late second than an early second. There were multiple teams prepared to take him in the 30s. Okay, so again, that's not a bad move either. Nico is someone who can provide for us in the future, so again, like, not terrible. They did fairly well with their 3 picks in quick succession in the late second and early third too. The speedy Carey Terrence and hardworking and well-rounded Colson Pitre could both become solid bottom six players before Carlson, Trevor Zegras, and Mason McTavish and company. Again, not a terrible move. He's not even talking too much shit. Overger, Rodwin Dionisio, the guy who I said was going to be a star, eventually, not a star, but who I said is going to be pretty good eventually, was on my board, but he took a huge step in the OHL this season to emerge as one of its top offensive defensemen. I'm not convinced he has NHL upside on the whole, but I didn't mind him being picked in the 5th round. In particular, he steps around coverage at the top of the offensive zone really well. Same goes for Overs forward Yegor Sidorov. I wouldn't have taken him in the 3rd round, but he scored 40 goals this year and was always going to get picked this time around for a scoring profile. Again, he's not even talking that much shit, so I don't see why he has us as a loser. Taking Pete's defenseman Connor Smith in the 4th round was a bit of a head-scratcher for me because you're really counting on him emerging next season and showing more offense than he showed in the OHL championships this year. He's huge, 6'6", but I think it mostly stops there. Again, he is agreeing with what I was saying. As someone with a soft spot for great stories, I was happy to see towering goaltender Damian Clauda, the first Italian player ever drafted in the NHL, taken as high as the 2nd round. He was an honorable mention for me and a worthwhile mid-round pick, even if a late 2nd was a bit high for me. Again, I'm not even saying, like, he says we're losers, but if anything, we kind of just had a lot of stretches. Like, we didn't pick anyone who was outwardly bad, except for Connor Smith, but everyone else was at least pretty decent. He's saying something I disagree with about Rodwin, but again, I don't think that Rodwin's going to be bad like he's saying. So, overall, Scott, I think that's your name, Scott Wheeler, you are wrong, my friend. You are so very wrong. And now, finally, we are moving to free agency, which I want to just touch on real quick. Radko Gudas and Alex Killorn are the 2 guys that we signed. Really the only 2 guys that we needed to sign. Within a span of 3 hours on Saturday, the Ducks were both lauded and lambasted for their free agent signings of Radko Gudas and Alex Killorn. Some teams make contract terms public now, most don't, but they get revealed anyway, and that keeps interest flowing among fans. Okay, so let's see. We took Killorn for 4 years, $25 million. If you were to average that out, that's about $6.25 million a year. And Gudas, we took for 3 years, $12 million, which is about $4 million a year. Their age over the next few seasons will either confirm or refute the narratives. Pat Verbeek didn't seem to be concerned with narratives. The big picture is always kept in mind, but the Ducks general manager is thinking about the impact of those additions right now. That is true. Killorn is a veteran forward who can provide us with a good presence in the locker room, which is mainly what we're going for. And Gudas is that Delorier role that we were looking for. He's a defenseman who his defense is decent. He can score every so often, but he's really a guy who will get in there and stand up for his teammates and protect the young guys, basically. Because Gudas is old. He's an old guy, but he's the kind of player like Nick Delorier was, where he can provide us with that grit that we just haven't had the last couple of seasons. And I think he's better than Delorier. So he probably will slide in pretty well. He seems like a friendly enough guy to his teammates. So I'm not against either of these signings. None of them were like mind-blowing. Killorn was kind of cool. I didn't expect to get Killorn. I didn't even have him on the guys we can get list. And both of them have done pretty well. Killorn is a 2-time Stanley Cup winner pretty recently, and Gudas, who played for the Florida Panthers, he was very important in that playoff run that they just had. As the Ducks try to resurface from the bottom of the league, Gudas and Killorn will be tasked with being the main pilots in an ascent, but they'll be counted on for their knowledge of navigating those turbulent waters. Both of them have gone through rebuilds. Both of them have been important pieces in rebuilds before. So now that they get to be the mentor role in a rebuild, again, I'm not against that. That's a good idea. Killorn signing drew the most attention, not necessarily in a good way. I don't understand why it's not considered to be a good signing. His reputation as a locker room bonding agent and connective, gritty winger almost goes without saying on the Tampa Bay teams that became a sustained powerhouse over his 11 seasons. Exactly. $6.25 million is kind of a lot. Let's be real. But yeah, okay. It says here they couldn't match what Verbeek ultimately gave, which almost immediately was routinely seen as a gross overpay. Was it an overpay? Yes. Okay. I will say that it was kind of an overpay. But 2 reasons. One, we're in Anaheim, okay? Anaheim is not known as a prime destination, which it should be, and it will be eventually. And 2, if we need to spend that salary cap money somehow, might as well just send it on him, because 4 years and 3 years are important for a reason. I don't think we're going to be good this season, and I don't think we're going to be good next season. But those last 2 seasons, the last year of Goodas's deal and the last 2 years of Killorn's deal, we will be at least decent and starting to get to contender position, in which case we can like phase those 2 out and replace them with new money. Because even though we have to re-sign a lot of our players right now, none of them are necessarily huge cap dealers. You know, none of them are huge money that we need to keep like right now. We could re-sign them in the future. Like our future assets, re-sign them in for more money, which we're gonna need to do in a couple of years. But again, I don't see these as bad signings. These are good signings, and everyone talks a lot of shit. Radko Gudas had 17 points last year, which not bad. I mean, he's not big. I mean, he's big-ish, but he's that gritty guy. And Killorn, he had a pretty decent season last year, 64 points. I feel like he can put up 50 a season if he really wants to for the next 4 years. Like, that's not a bad move, and I'm not against that at all. So, whatever happens with the Ducks, I don't know. We have a couple empty spots left that we could re-sign people for, or just sign out outright. I will probably make videos about that when that happens. That's it for Anaheim Ducks offseason so far. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I'll come back eventually to talk about these guys when the season eventually starts. Thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and goodbye.